Hello? Is this on? Is this thing on? Okay, let's figure this out. I should be recording without any audio now. Test, 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 test. Right. Okay, let's see. Is this thing on? Figure this out. Wait. I should be. Is this thing on? Test, test, test. Yeah, I am. Ha! I figured it out. I am so smart. I should win Restreamer of the Year. Okay. Let's turn the music back on. Okay, somebody tell me if the music's too loud or too quiet, or if I'm too quiet. I think I'm too quiet. I'm turning myself up. And turning the music down. I hope that's okay. I think this mic is okay, but it sounds good. Like, the music isn't too loud. That's good. That's wonderful. I need to write an announcement. Did Sharky stream? No. The match beforehand got cancelled, and he had something come up. So it's me who is filling in. To the detriment of the entire CTM operation, but you do what you can. I think I set everything up. Oh yeah, I need to go into the Twitch chat. Or I have to open it somewhere so I can type seeds and stuff. Manage channels, monthly Tetris. And there's the chat. Okay, it works. That's nice. So what are these things we have to... Last time I did one of these streams, there was a bunch of like sponsor slides I had to go through, but thankfully that's just no longer a thing. But where's the info slide? I can't find the slide where it's like support CTM and stuff like that. Maybe he took it out because I don't know. I mean, Vandy's unavailable, so if it's not there, then I guess no one's getting a thank you today. That's a shame. Okay, oh yeah, announcement. Time to write the announcement. I think I have permission to ping everyone, right? So, copy this link, and then I say, hello, Tetris is in the dawn of happening. That's not correct. Is meme versus Cobra. Winner versus the infamous Vinky. I think that's fine. Get rid of this. Why would I plug Gauntlet? I don't have any affiliation to Gauntlet. I mean, shout out to Gauntlet. Anyways, I don't know if it's currently happening, but yeah. I mean, if Sharky wants to pay me some money, I'll like get a Gauntlet tattoo and go out on the street. I'll like wave, you know, in those movies, they like wave the sign around with like Gauntlet. And then I'll do that. There's some like slides missing, I think. Or maybe I'm just stupid. That could very well be it. But there's no like... I don't see the slide where you thank all the people for helping and stuff like that. Or contributing. But I don't know. Is there any? Or maybe that was too complicated to export. So we'll just let that be. Sharky had something come up. So we wish him the best. But maybe this is leaking. Maybe you'll hear his voice on Tuesday. That's what it says right now. And you'll see the match that was supposed to happen earlier, which was Sidna versus Andy. Because there's some like troubles with that. And then Andy just decided, you know what? I don't want to play today. So we just rescheduled it. I don't know about... Alright, threes. Like, you know, you see yourself as a big guy, but then you come in here and say ridiculous stuff like this. Vandal, you sound extremely sleep deprived. I actually slept pretty well today. I think. Did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. No, I slept pretty well. I slept from like 4 to 12. Because it's a Sunday. And on Sundays, nothing happens. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do something revolutionary. It's currently 2 minutes until the event's supposed to start. I'm going to start. So that the match actually happens closer to the time it's scheduled to start. So... Wait. Haha. No, we're not going to start because I forgot to put the microphone on these scenes. Give me 1 second. Okay, just give me a second. Everything will be fine. Okay. There's no... Why is it cutting? Wait, do I have to do this? No, then it also just cuts. Whatever. Welcome to CTM Masters event, March 2026. With your host, Tuginho, because Vandy's unavailable and the first replacement was also unavailable, so after everybody fell through, you ended up with me, so enjoy. Today we have the red bracket? Yes, we're gonna have the red bracket, oh, see, look at that transition. We're gonna have the finale of the red bracket, which is gonna be a showdown between me and Cobra, and then we're gonna have the next match right after. It's gonna be the winner of that versus Vinky, one of the most famous players in the history of esports. And currently, I don't know what else I'm supposed to show you. I mean, this is the whole bracket. You can see me. I lost to Eyeball, who just... Eyeball decided, you know what? You know what would be really funny? I'm just going to qual 24th seed and ruin whoever gets 9th seed's day. So, yeah. So I'm already out, so I don't really care. Eyeball, what a funny guy. Yeah. What we're gonna have is, yeah, you can see Danv Pants is on match 28. We're gonna have that. But first, we need to decide who he is going to play. And I think that's basically it. Oh, yeah, so this match has a match rate. No, wait, I'm supposed to show you the rules. Right, these are the rules. Okay, so the rules are, this is 1989 NES Tetris on NTSC. It's a 32-player single elim flat bracket. Highest top-out score wins. First to 3 wins match. Level 18 starts. Level 39 kill screen. Uncapped score. Same piece sets re-rolled. Console or emulator unmodded tournament cartridge. Any controller, but no big buttons and no turbo. And only one input per button, please. Unlike what some people used to do in the past. No in-game advice, which is really hard to police. So, but it is a rule. So if you get caught, then you're like really stupid, because I don't know how you would even get caught. And no pausing. And the score speaks, just keep playing during tech issues. The winner gets ... a share in the prize pool. And I won't be seeing any of that, so, you know, I don't have any personal incentive for you to donate, but I guess, I mean, I kind of like the people who will be making top 8, some of them at least. So, yeah, if you'd like to contribute, if we reach over 2,000, then the top 8 can get paid, and the match Reno prize pool currently stands at $1,101 US dollars, which I don't know. Last I checked was taking a nosedive, but that's okay. Are the players here? Yes, I can see Cobra's online. Wow, shout out to you, Cobra. I can see that Meme is not online, at least not on the channel that is on here. Wow, Meme's not online. Maybe because she expected that this would start in like 20 minutes, but you know. Okay, let's adjust Cobra's camera. Young Cobra from the United States. We're gonna do this. And we're gonna flip them over. Nice. And how does that look? Oh, that looks lovely. Wow. Alright, his hands are like just out of the shot. Let's do that. Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay, what's up, people? I should say hello to some people. Hello, Guafi. Hello, Jay. Hello, Wintera. Hello, Threes. No, actually, no. I take that back. No hello to Threes. Hello, Blue Scrooties. Grandpa. Hello, Nine Gaben. Hello, Cobra. Hello, Hat Zen Boyer. Hello, Tetris. Hello, Lurpton. Hello, Chen. Hello, Brick UK. Hello, Dan V. Hello, Gmart. Hello, Adam BR Bass. Hello, Summer. Hello, Lori. Yeah. What happened to Vandy? I don't know, but he's unavailable. I don't really ask why. Oh, Meme's here. Yeah, aren't you surprised that we're already ready to start? So get online whenever you're ready. We can see Cobra is absolutely stencil perfect. So, you know, shout out to Cobra. Cobra, who was ranked 7, and Meme, who was ranked 6. So this is the match between 7 and 6. And Cobra left. So I'm all alone. How does he have the... This is interesting. How does he have the Maturino thing as a... Oh, I guess... Oh, no, now I get it. Hello to RXS. The employees we laid off are excess. That's pretty good. I should write a book. Okay, let's adjust meme's camera. There's meme being... Now her hands are covered by the thing, but her hands are like right here, so there's nothing I can do. So she's just gonna be hiding her hands behind the box. One day wait. Oh, meme won one day. Nice. Congratulations. Cobra looks stretched vertically. That's not very nice. Oh, no, wait. No, vertically. No, that is nice. No, it's not, because you're saying he's short. That's not nice. Yeah, Cobra's pretty tall. He's like my height. And I'm like 6'2". Or 6'1". Is that better? No, we're not going to do that. There he is. Okay, players. I am going to roll a seed. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. What mic do I use? I'm using... I don't know if I'm like allowed to... This isn't a plug. This is just genuinely what I use. I use a Logitech G522 wireless headset. And this is just the mic that it came with. Which for a wireless headset, I think it's pretty decent. I don't know. I think maybe the filters make it sound a little bit worse, but it's pretty good. Okay, so meme is ready. Yeah, it's really good, honestly, for a headset. I have to say, like, I think, like, the main things I look at when buying like headphones is number one is comfort. It's not even sound, because you know what? This might be a hot take, but sound actually doesn't matter that much on headphones. Because if the headphones you use are the only headphones you use, you get used to the sound. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's like a certain level of not terrible, it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if you heard that. That was a WhatsApp notification. Whatever. Yeah, and then, so comfort is the number one thing. Like, if you can't tolerate wearing it for like most of the day, then it doesn't really matter. You heard it? Okay. Well, okay, so both players are ready. So we shall begin game number one in something, I don't know. It's not synced, so there's no point me counting down. But as you can see, the two players have different... Oh no, I'm supposed to... Frick. I'm supposed to get rid of that. What is this song? I've never heard this song. Trace vector title screen. Okay, so we're off underway. Like I said before, these players are very highly ranked according to the Premier poll. And this is when Van Dweller usually gives an intro to the player, so I'll do my best. I don't have their stats up, but Meme on the left side, the last year's runner-up at the World Championship and a perennial contender for the biggest titles in Tetris for the last, I'd say over the last year or so, even longer. Winner of Detroit and One Day yesterday, and Genesis like last year or the year before, I don't know, but won Genesis once. And also was second at the CTWC and more events as well. And then we have Cobra, who is the winner of Boston Parody, 2 Parody, the second one last year. And was also in a Masters Finals not too many months ago. And just overall, very, very strong player. Always kicks my rear end. To be fair, so do both these players. So, you know. Okay, so currently 194 meme, 186 for Cobra. Cobra did a Tubino spin. Wow. Shout out to him. Hello, Queen Man. Is that how you say? I don't know. The Salty Sea Man. Hello to you. I don't know what an NPR show is, so I don't know. Is it like a circus? So I can definitely do that. Oh, bonjour, Maisie. Okay, currently the two players they're pretty even. They're at like 260, but Cobra with a 1 Tetris lead, maybe slightly less. Yeah. I always get a bit nervous when I'm restreaming somebody and the players are always like looking over, because I don't know if it's because if they're screen looking because they screen look anyways, then they have the commentators muted, or because they screen look due to the lack of score updates from the commentator, in which case that's reflects badly on me. So I don't know. I don't know if they can hear me right now. Like I always have the commentary muted. But alright, so 341 for meme, 400,000 for Cobra. I think both players will be looking at. I think Cobra definitely for a 600k transition, meme probably as well, if she can up her Tetris rate. This is first to 3. Sidna versus Andy was postponed to this Wednesday. Oh, Cobra's in quite a bit of danger. JP is going to work wonders for his board. And okay, he's going to be fine. He did well there. It was a dig that, to be fair, if he just did everything right and just got slightly the wrong pieces, he may have just been cooked. But he did well. And thankfully the pieces decided not to kill him. Still in the lead, currently at 525, meme at 468. Although Cobra has a Lombard dependency on his board. Can still get 4 more Tetrises, which would be just above the 600k transition. No, it would actually be quite a bit above the 600k transition. Meme at 514 can get like a very high 500 transition. So Cobra looking good to take a couple Tetrises lead into the 19 portion of game number 1. And there you go, Cobra going to transition at 599, meme at 583, so less than a Tetris behind. Although meme's going to lose a couple of burns here. While Cobra just banging down 2 more Tetrises. Meme's kind of up high. Gonna have to take a couple of burns. That's a terrible T piece for a board. Now it's Lombard dependent and doesn't get the S piece over. And meme's actually gonna top out at 590. So Cobra is gonna take game number 1. It was just a unfortunate situation there for meme. I think that T piece really was not hand. Actually, no. What am I doing? Cobra wins game number 1. There you go. So I wasn't sure if there was something else that was wrong there, but I just noticed that T piece, which is honestly a really bad piece for a board. So, you know, when you're up high, to be fair, you get bad things can happen. I don't know why he always complains about people not pinning. It's like literally just press a button. Unless he's like in chat some alternative way where he can't pin immediately. But yeah. I'm doing a bit of warm-up between games. Which I think especially after a pre-29 top L is not a bad idea. Because obviously she would have been warming up before the match and then probably expected to place in 29, but didn't. So just trying to stay fresh, you know? Minimize the time between playing 29. Okay, so... Oh wait, I need to check the seeds. Are the seeds correct? Yes, they are. Congratulations. So, game number 2 in... starting soon. So the player is doing the same opener? No. They... already deviated after 2 pieces. Where's Vandy? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he's specifically doing. I know he's unavailable, so... NCTM. Yeah, let's end CTM and replace it. Everybody just plays classic Tetris bi-weekly. Wouldn't that be a plot twist? Okay, so far, Meme is 1 Tetris ahead. RXS, more like is excess. So I was talking to Guafi about this microphone before. The only thing is it picks up quite a lot, so I always have to remember to mute myself when I drink water. Unless you want to hear very moist noises. Yeah, Cobra maintaining this 1 Tetris lead. I never know what to say in this point, in this portion of the game, when it's like, there's just not much to say. Oh my god, a perfect clear for Meme. Let's all jump in the streets and throw fireworks and quit our jobs. Alright, Meme is actually probably still behind by like 1 Tetris, although I mean it's slightly less. Talk about sandwiches? I don't know why. Okay, here's one thing. I mean, I'm not an English native speaker, so someone can explain it to me. But I don't understand why it's called a chicken sandwich or not a chicken burger. Like no one calls them chicken sandwiches here. They're just called a chicken burger because that's what it is, right? Okay, just as I start rambling about something irrelevant, the two players actually giving something to talk about. Cobra had a bit of a mess, and actually so did Meme. Meme, but it's gonna take that nice double, takes a single to reopen her well, and yeah, after all of that, it's still the one Tetris lead for Cobra. Cobra's board, that's a terrible square piece, and getting S's and Z's when he really doesn't need them. This is a bit of a problem now for Cobra. If he doesn't get a bar soon, this could be even more problematic. Okay, gets the J piece over. Just needs to reopen this bar dependency. That's probably a misdrop there of the T piece. This is really problematic for Cobra. Doesn't get the bar over, and Cobra's going to top out at 368. So Meme is going to take game number 2 and tie up the set. So what was once a best of 3. No, what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. That's my Chris Forrest impression. I don't know if people even... No, I think most people still know who Chris Forrest is, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you know who Chris Forrest is. Oh wait, I need to roll to see. Okay, Coffee knows. Coffee's a man of culture. So only Coffee knows who Chris Forrest is, damn. Oh, Danv does, yeah. Oh, Chris Forrest is a legend. So does Maisie, yeah, very nice. Okay, are these seeds correct? Yes, they are. Game number 3, starting soon. And yeah, Meme saying that they're just topping out early so I can go back to playing Counter-Strike. That's really nice. Well, actually, no, I did see a thing, like, which genuinely, like, I find really, that actually infuriated me. It was like Tom Holland, the guy who plays Spider-Man. And he was saying, like, oh, Americans have no cuisine, which, first of all, is just wrong. Like, I'm the biggest American hater, but that's just wrong. America definitely has a cuisine. And it's a very good cuisine, right? And then he said, like, all the stuff is imported, right? And then he used the example of, like, hamburgers. And then he argued, because the name is Hamburg, like, named after the city in Germany, that it's a German thing, which is completely... It's actually wrong. If you look at the history, the hamburger was made because they decided to take the hamburger steak, which is a different dish, right? The meat. And they decided to put it between two pieces of bread and made it a hamburger. And the reason it's called a hamburger is as an homage to the hamburger steak. But that doesn't mean it's from Germany, right? It's American. It's 100% American. Like, you could... It's like such a, like... 2 IQ take. Like, oh, it's called Hamburg, so it must be from Hamburg, right? See, that great example, Coffee. French fries are not French. And then in German, actually, like the sausage, people might, like in America, they might know them as wieners or Wieners, named after Vienna, right? But then actually in Vienna, they're actually called Frankfurter, like named after Frankfurt, right? So, you know, it's just because something is named something doesn't mean it is that. I don't know what I just said. Whatever. Cobra is in quite a bit of danger, although he seems to be doing a good job. That's a great J piece. And just needs 2 bottom. Okay, Z piece works. And he's got his wall open, but this has allowed Meme to take an early advantage here. Game number 3. 100,000 points ahead at the moment. I mean, yeah, you know, Coffee makes a good point. It's like, people say like, oh, American Italian food is not Italian. It's like, yeah, of course it's not. It's American Italian cuisine. Like, there's nothing wrong with calling it that. Because, you know, the origin of that is the people who mainly immigrated from Italy to the United States were people from southern Italy, right? And because they had all these new fresh ingredients, they came up with stuff that is now known as American Italian cuisine. It's like, of course it's not authentic Italian cuisine because it's something different. But anyways, there's my impression of Van Dweller talking about food. Let's go back to the game, where currently Meme of all time is leading by 100,000 points, and it is a true almost 100,000 point lead as the two players are at the same line count. Cobra had some troubles, but has been able to stem the bleeding, so it's still behind, but hasn't allowed Meme to add to her lead. Can I sing the Carnation? I don't know what that is. I would sing the Meow Mix song, but I I don't know if that's copyrighted. Meme had a... I don't know if that's intentional, but it works out pretty decently for her. Just has one delayed burn. Or now it's a few more delayed burns. Yeah, she's gonna be fine. Meme, she goes perfect and got a 650 transition. Cobra really hoping for this L piece, and in the end just decides to settle for the Z piece, which isn't the worst solve, but it does cost him a few burns, but prevents the board from being further complicated. What Austrian songs are there? I don't know. I don't really listen to Austrian music. I mean, there's all of Mozart's and Beethoven's songs. You know, some people like to say Beethoven is German, which he definitely is, but I don't know. We like to say that he isn't. Okay, currently Meme is at 652 and Cobra is at 624. Meme is playing one row off the bottom. And okay, so she's going to open up one of the holes at the bottom and goes for a nice solve there. It's only going to cost her 2 singles and is now back down at the bottom without costing her too many complications. Cobra's pretty close now in score, although he's a couple lines ahead. Although Meme is going to have to do some further burning, just nothing that's going to really trouble her or really threaten her to top out, but just a couple of annoying burns. And she's going to go for this column 9 Tetris and perfect wall transfer. So it works out perfectly there for her. Cobra gets an S piece, goes for the S flat. And, okay, gets the L piece over to the left side. So Cobra's definitely eaten away into this lead. Although he is a couple of lines ahead, so the lead still lies with Meme. But Meme having had a couple of just annoying burn sequences at the beginning of post, allowing Cobra to basically be behind by 2 Tetrises at the moment. So they're at the same score, but Cobra is 8 lines ahead. So yeah, Meme maintaining this lead. Both very good paces. Wow, Meme with a max out of 196, so she has 1 burn for a 1.3 into. And just as I say that, those burns are almost definitely going to be taken. So no 1.3 into for Meme. But now she's just looking to not further complicate this board. Okay, decides to reopen the well. Takes a triple there with the L piece. Decides to build a hole on her board. And it's going to take another triple. So she's now clean, but it costs her couple of burns there, so now it's basically even in terms of score. A90 here for Cobra with 3 more available, A60 for Meme with 4 more available. So the runways into 29 are essentially even at this point, so it's definitely going to come down to the 29 play. And also, if Cobra can keep a clean board into 20, he's quite high up and only has 2 more burns to give, but gets the Tetris into 29 at B66. Is Tetris ready, but just doing a bit of burning. Gets the Tetris C12 into level 30 for Cobra. Meanwhile, Meme now into 29, currently at B80, but a misdrop there for Meme. Just gonna have to dig out of this, not really getting very helpful pieces to do so. And oh, that drop of the square piece, and oh no, Meme's gonna top out at B81. So Cobra, just by virtue of surviving the transition better, is going to be able to take game number 3. Is now just 1 game away from the top 8. So Cobra's going to play this out for stats because apparently, I mean, there's like premier pollsters who only rank on stats, which is pretty, I think it's pretty stupid, but I think it's slightly smarter than people who only rank based on results. So, probably is worth getting these stats up. Rank based on vibes, yeah, that's the smartest thing. I can't scroll down on the chat. So, if somebody said something. Cobra's still going here. We're looking for the rollover and beyond, really. Oh no, misses the bar, but gets another bar to get a Tetris to alleviate lots of pressure. Gets the next bar over. Oh no, it's falling apart now for Cobra. Lost control of the pieces there for a second, but still F35 for sure gonna boost his FMS. Nicely done. I'm sorry, but I would like to know who's commentating. I am Danv, and I love feet. Say the line. What is, I don't know. Is it true that I might go to yeah, it's definitely a might. I hope so. I really hope so. Because Gunter always helps us out with our Austrian regional. So I always feel bad missing France and trying to help out him. But I don't know, it's a little difficult. Pieces. Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. There you go. I was like, oh, we're waiting for Meme to stop warming up, but she's probably warming up because I haven't rolled the seeds yet. Am I unable to make it? It's a little complicated. I'm not gonna like explain why, but that's all you need to know. It's a little bit complicated, but I can't really give a percentage chance. But I really want to, and it's kind of a choice I have to make between two things that, yeah. Okay, both players are ready. Let's see if they're on the right seed. Yes, they are. Congratulations. So, game number 4 is starting soon. A critical game number 4 is coming to your door. It's integral to the lore. Yeah, but it is a actually critical game here for Meme, who is starting off with some troubles here on her board. Should be okay. J-Piece is gonna help her endeavors. Okay, so Meme, out of her troubles, sorted her board out and is able to get some Tetrises. Cobra with the early lead, but has a nasty Lombard dependency on his board and is currently playing one row off the bottom. So it should be fine. Yeah, he's reopened and he's just going to keep playing on this row 2 setup. Which 2 Tetris players you would choose for a shared flat and why? See, you know, the thing about this is, like, I wouldn't choose my 2 best friends because realistically, if I'm around somebody for too long, especially living with them, I'd absolutely start despising them and everything that they do and everything they stand for. And, like, their ethics, I'd be the complete opposite. I'd be the opposite of them in terms of religion. Like, I would just be anti-everything what they stand for. So, I don't know. Maybe I would just pick 2 people I already dislike. And I would just dislike them more. Okay, so game number 4 is currently in this situation. Meme is behind and also has a mess. Cobra's having to do a bit of burning as well. Right now, both players are clean. Cobra ahead by a couple Tetrises. He's also behind by 6 lines. So the early pace advantage here for the... Well, they're both American. The player from... I don't know where Cobra's from. Somewhere in the northeast, I think. But I think so is Meme, so I don't actually know. The player currently wearing a white grayish color. Meme the number 3 seed. To be fair, is probably hoping for an easier matchup in the top 16 than Cobra. Cobra definitely, if we're doing it by Premier Poll, and I would definitely agree with the Premier Poll. A top 7 player in the world. Currently seeded 14th due to his qualifier. So, I mean, definitely drawing a bit of the short stick here with the seeding. Though some might say, you know, there was one match where somebody qualified as the 9th seed, had to play the 24th seed, and the 24th seed was the 10th ranked player in the world. So, you know, that might arguably be worse. Who was commentating? Why don't you guess? Alright, so 435 here from Meme with 3 Tetrises available. And Cobra still has 4 Tetrises available. Could be looking at a over 600k transition here. Meme would be looking at, if she can get this last Tetris, and she probably will, yeah, she will, just over a 500k transition. 504 into 19 for Meme. 596 with 1 more Tetris available for Cobra. So Cobra, if he can win this game, will advance to the next round where he will face the infamous Vinky in a match for the ages. But of course, Meme hoping to keep her dreams of making the top 8 and beyond alive. A little bit of an annoying situation for Meme on her left side. Oh, and this is now getting more and more complicated. Needs to get the SP silver. Gets the SP silver. Okay, needs a J. Yeah, gets the J. Oh, decides to build the Lombard dependency. Gets the Lombard. Now needs something for the left side. Reopens the well. Okay, and opens up that hole. So Meme, after a bit of burning, is going to be clean. Gets 2 Tetrises in quick succession. 605 into level 22 here from Meme. But Cobra's just been playing solid. Is still with this 100k lead, but is now also behind by a whole level. So this lead has only grown here for Cobra as we've hit the 19 speeds. Cobra gets the Tetris into 822, still on level 23. Meme is still this full level ahead and is behind by 140,000 points. So as things stand, if we go to 29, it's going to have to be a strong job for Meme to try and extend the set. Meme into level 26 at 806. Cobra, although his board not too great. Oh, misdrops the T-piece, gets the Lombard to alleviate tons of pressure. But this is going to be a little bit of burning as the next Lombard is not a Tetris. And alright, so Cobra is going to have to do a bit of burning. Should be able to dig out of this to maintain a lead into 29. But it's going to give Meme an opportunity to just cut down on the score as far as she can. So gets the Tetris. Meme at 913 with 3 more Tetrises available. So a low max out if she can get the final 3 Tetrises. Cobra's board is just very complicated. Should be fine to get a clean board into 29, but he's not going to be really scoring many Tetrises here. And if he's not careful, he's not even going to have the lead into 29. So Meme is already into 29, currently at A28. Cobra, realistically, is probably just looking for 1 more Tetris. And it's currently on the left side, so he might decide to just burn this down and forgo the Tetris, yeah. So Meme actually with the lead into 29. And so far, on her 29 campaign has been doing pretty solid. Currently at B09 on level 31. Although now a bit of trouble. The Z piece is going to be very helpful. And it looks like Meme's going to be opening up the well. Tetris ready now. Gets the Tetris, so B58 now for Meme. Cobra just maxing out on level 30. So that dig on level 24, 25 has cost Cobra the lead. Now he's the one who is behind, and he's behind by 200,000 points. Now he's also behind by a couple of levels, but you're not making up that much score in just a few levels. So it's a definite lead here for Meme. So now it's time for Cobra to start chaining these Tetrises together, and doesn't get the square all the way over. Okay, gets the next J piece over. He's set up. Waiting for the bar. Cobra gets the Tetris, go up to A71, but Meme has just been playing an excellent post 29. D48 now for Meme. And Cobra with some troubles. Cobra is going to top out at A75, and Meme with a comeback victory in game number 4. Just capitalized on the opportunities given by Cobra and has run away with it. Despite having a low 500k transition, she's looking at a rollover here in this game. And if she can get all 4 Tetrises, maybe even the 1.7. No, it's not going to be quite that, but definitely looking for the rollover. So really strong late post and 29 play here from Meme. And she's going to be good. Looking for the rollover. Needs something to the left side. Gets TP's over, and there's the rollover from Meme. So world-class response there from Meme. After being behind in the set, and being behind by quite a lot on the early 19 levels. Able to come back and getting a rollover there. So now we're into the decider. So these players really don't want me to play Counter-Strike. It's decider. I have to show this now. Look, it's a decider. Oh my god, it's leaving. Oh no, now it's back. Now it's gone. Now it's back. Now it's gone. Now it's back. Okay. So let's check the seeds. I'm not going to do a whole speech about what this decider means for greater society. Let's just see. Do they have the right seeds? And let's get started. So game number 5 starting now. Okay. Sorry, I also I'm really not reading the chat much. So I missed a couple of things. I can see Vandy Pants with a subscription. Thank you so much. And DeckCL. Thank you for the subscription as well. My great friend Deck. When am I unvaulting the DAS 1.4? Soon. What kind of cider do you think? I don't know. Counter-Strike mentioned W. I know, right? I love Counter-Strike. It's the best game. I could play Counter-Strike on 18, yeah. Who says I'm not doing that already? I'm just world-class multitasker. Okay, so far in this game number 5, not much has really occurred for me to comment on. They're pretty even. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hopefully this is fine. Players keep playing. Yeah, okay. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Everything is fine. Meme currently at 172 is going to get the Tetris. Goes up to 195. Cobra with the Tetris will go up to 171. So it's an early 1 Tetris advantage here from Meme. Meme has had to build a Lombard dependency. Not nice, but she's gonna get it, so it's all good. Oh no, Meme missed a tuck there, I think, and just slightly lost control there, but able to get back on her feet. Gets a couple of Tetrises. I was actually smart to build those holes at the same height, so she's able to access them both with that one single. So it's just a couple of burns here for Meme that she's had to sacrifice. But those few burns have now basically evened up the game. Although Cobra's board really begging for some T pieces. Or a Z and a Lombard, that can also work. Cobra at 359, Meme at 366. Oh, not sure what happened as I was looking into the sky. Meme has had a couple of troubles, but should be fine. Decides to build one hole and actually just going to burn it out with a single, so very expertly done there from Meme. Although now lots of division on her board and was able to fill in the left side well enough and has a hole on her board. But otherwise should be fine. It's actually set up for a dirty Tetris. But all this, this entire kerfuffle has allowed Cobra to take a bit of a lead here as we're approaching the 19 transition. Cobra at 484, Meme at 428, and the board not really improving here for Meme. Still looking for this dirty Tetris. Okay, gets the Tetris. And now trying to set up for what we used to call the Atomwell Tetris. For Adam's name became redacted from the history books. So we got a column 4 Tetris, so Meme currently at 502. And still with a mess at the bottom of her board. We'll see how she decides to play this. Looks like she might be committing to this 4 off the bottom setup. Yeah, this has allowed Cobra to take a lead, and Meme's board now falling apart a little bit, getting higher and higher. So actually, no. She does have control over it, but it was getting a little bit scary there for a second. Set up once again. Waiting for this bar. This bar just deciding not to show up. It's being shy at the absolute worst moment. The strat is also affecting Cobra a decent amount. But there you go. Finally, the Lombard shows up for Meme. And she's going to be able to burn this down all the way to the bottom. So it's a similar situation to the last game, where Cobra does have the lead in the early post-transition levels, but now Meme trying to repeat history by bringing it back and retaking the lead as the 19 levels go on. But Cobra able to get a Tetris and now is going to be able to get clean. So it's about an 80,000 point lead at the same line count for Cobra, as both boards are now clean. But as I say that, Cobra getting some annoying pieces, which shouldn't result in a dig, but are just a little bit annoying to deal with, although getting S's and Z's at the worst moment and just hoping for this L piece, which is never showing up. There you go. And meanwhile, Meme has cut down on the lead, but is now in a bit of a mess herself. But the L piece is going to be very helpful. And decides to rotate the T the correct way, which is going to allow her to get a clean board and gets the Tetris. So Meme now into a slight lead, but is also a couple of lines ahead. So overall, Cobra still with a slight lead as we're approaching the 29 transition. So yeah, 813 here for Cobra as he's entered level 26. Meme at 792 and about 4 lines ahead. So still a small lead here for Cobra, but one that is almost certainly not going to hold on 29 if he's not able to back it up. Although Meme's board getting a bit complicated. Was set up for a couple of T setups, but the T wasn't showing up, and now gets a S piece when she needed a Z. And it looks like... Okay, Meme's going to be fine, gets the Tetris, currently at 876, has one more Tetris available, but is not going to be able to take it. And she's probably... Yeah, she's going to single here into 29, gets the Tetris, 915 on 29 for Meme, 992 for Cobra, and he's going to get the Tetris, A28 transition for Cobra. So 100,000 point deficit that Meme needs to overcome. She wants to take this decider, but gets the first Tetris there on level 30. Cobra trying to get set up. Set up now. Oh, just takes himself out of Tetris readiness, but the next Lombard comes in quick succession. So Cobra able to Tetris. Now back into 100,000 point lead here. And Meme, LP's coming at a great time. Gets the J piece over and gets the Tetris. A24 for Meme, B34 for Cobra. So it's still the 100,000 point lead here for Cobra. But oh, Cobra's board now needs a Lombard for the Tetris. Missed the J piece over, so gets a couple of Lombards, but doesn't hit the next Lombard over, and Cobra's going to top out at B84. So Meme needs to get to B85, but this board is still looking quite complicated here for Meme. She is in a dig. She's able to get out of this. You would back her to get this chase down, but needs to get out of this. Oh, that was such a tough S piece to get over. Meme needs B85 to take the set. It all comes down to this. And she's doing great work. If she's able to dig out of this, it's just going to be one Tetris and change, really. But it's still getting complicated. Just as she was making some progress, it got more complicated. Okay. Okay. Pair of great doubles. And Meme can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel, but still the dig just keeps on going. And now set up for the Tetris. Gets a triple instead. Now the Tetris would win it for her, and she's committing to it. She's committing to it. Gets a Tetris! Oh my god! Had to slide the bar in as the board was falling apart. And got the final Tetris to take the set over Cobra in the decider. Unbelievable. She was in a dig for what felt like half of level 29. And at some point, Cobra topped out and knew that she just needed to chase down, but couldn't get clean, as every time she was making progress, the game was just giving her pieces that made the dig go longer and longer. And at some point, she just decided, you know what? Time is running out. I'm just going to set up for this Tetris. It was a good Tetris setup as well, but then it looked like she might get droughted. And just as the Lombard comes, she had actually covered up the well, but gets the Lombard slide in. Absolutely insane ending there to that one. Wow. So Meme is going to be moving on to face the famous Dan Vinky in the next round. Although I don't know, can I report this? I think I have permission to report it, but I don't know if I... Let's see. you need a few minutes, that's fine. Twitch channel. Monthly Tetris and the VOD. I need to find the VOD. Where's the VOD? Twitch.tv. Monatliches Tetris. Und Link kopieren. Einfügen. Und da ist es. So, if this refreshes, I don't know where the scene is, where like the bracket is, like just the top 8 bracket. It's actually what I would be showing, but whatever, it's not here. So this is the best we have right now. So look at this. Look at the bottom right. It is now meme of all time facing the infamous Vinky, one of the most notorious Tetris players of his time. And yeah, so I don't know what Vandy even does in breaks nowadays, but I guess I'll just leave it here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this because it's gonna make people not leave. So I'm just gonna set up here. I'm also gonna do just so I have like, I'm gonna be honest, I have a bit of a thing where low-key I always get wait, what do I pick for the matchups? Oh no, yeah, he has the scenarios. Look at this. Haha. And he does PB attempt stream breaks. I'm not playing Tetris now. Because I hate Tetris. And I'm going to change this to seed number 6. There you go, look at that. That is Vinky with a big glove and a hairstyle. Danv does believe that he does not need to go to Turkey to fix his hairline. Can't really see right now, since with the way his hairstyle is, it's covering it up. But okay, why is it not doing the cool thing? Wait. Like, can you see this? Like the space behind the game field is not this weird color. I don't know how that works. Like I can make him bigger, but well, I mean I can do this. Wait, this is scuffed, but I don't care. So look at that. There's 2 Vinkies. And we're just gonna make this bigger. Hey, look at that. I don't really know how it works. Wait. I think that's fine. Yeah, that looks good, I think, in my opinion. Bro, Dan, you're gonna look like Mega Retro Man. Like, when he takes his hat off. In like 2 years. Well, the thing is, so am I, so we can all go to Turkey together. And Dog will also come, because if you've ever seen his hairline, my god. And he's like, what, 15? So, yeah, he's definitely gonna go to Turkey with us. Or maybe, I mean, he's made so much money from Tetris, maybe he can just afford to get it fixed in the US. Okay. When the players are ready, I'm just gonna roll the seed. There's no pressure on you. If you wanna keep warming up, employ some Fabian strategy. The strategy created by Fabius Maximus and perfected by Pixelandi. Feel free. Tui, how much did you pay for CTM? I don't know. I just kind of stole it. I don't know. For some reason, Daniel's camera is bothering me. I think I should wait. Do it like this? No, but then the black is there. Okay, like this. I think that's good. Meow 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 meow. Somebody asked before for like baseball trivia, but obviously I don't watch baseball because nobody watches baseball outside of the US and Japan, I guess. But I can give you trivia about football. Did you know that Cristiano Ronaldo is actually named after Ronald Reagan? And I genuinely did not just make that up. That's actually true. Because his father's favorite actor was Ronald Reagan, so named his son Ronaldo. Okay, both players are ready. So, game number 1 of this top 8 match between meme of all time and Dan Vinky is gonna start very soon. Now, some are I think that the naming conventions are just different. So his full name's like way longer than just Cristiano Ronaldo, right? But Ronaldo is a given name, and I think so is Cristiano. So it's I wouldn't be able to explain it to you, but yeah. Anyways. Top 8 match between Meme and Dan V. On the left side, it is Meme, winner of Motor City Mayhem, Genesis, One Day, and actually, I don't even know if she remembers this, winner of Juga Tetris Caramba, the DAS tournament hosted by the LATAM community a few years back. Defeated yours truly in the finals, so that's why I remember it. And then on the left and right, it's really hard. On the right side, it is Dan V, one of the most infamous players in Tetris history. Was the winner of CTUK in 2021 and 2022. Also appeared in different regionals around the world. Winner of CTWC France both years that it's happened. Defeated one Blue Scooty in the finals. And as a result, was the final boss, the villain of the Blue Scooty documentary. And nobody made a documentary about Mark, but if they did, then he would have been the villain in that as well, since he beat Mark last year. Was also at the famous CTWC Austria regional every year that it's happened, and was the runner-up twice. The first time we hosted it, and just a few weeks ago. And of course, like every year, lost to Sitnev in the finals. because that's what Danv does. She always just wins TWC Austria. Meme is frozen. But hopefully it's fine. Oh, it might not be. Players, just keep playing. Just keep playing. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. Both these players, yeah, both these players have played at the DAS World Championship in Cologne. Meme played last year. Dan played in 2023. Now, the reason nobody remembers that is because he lost in like round of, I don't know, 250. But he did play in it. And was actually, last year decided he's not going to play. He's just going to commentate. And in my opinion, did a very good job of that. Okay, Meme had a bit of issues on her board, but able to get the left wall dirty Tetris, but it's still quite complicated here for Meme. Now it's a very high right well Tetris that she set up with, and now had to cover up the well. And this is actually quite a bit of danger here for Meme. Gets the J piece at just the right time, reopens the well. Okay, takes a double there, but closes off her well once again. Cannot afford any mistakes with these rolls. And gets the Lombard to alleviate tons of pressure. But not out of the situation yet. Lombard comes just one piece too late. One piece, haha. And Meme almost set up for another dirty Tetris, but she's not going to push her luck. Just trying to burn this down. Nice adjustment there for Meme, and she should be fine. But this has allowed Dan to build up a over 100,000 point lead, and Dan is also lines in hand. Oh yeah, you're right, Macy. You are right. I just remembered. Yeah, there was a CTWC France 2023, but if I remember correctly, it didn't. I think it didn't finish on time, right? It was something like that, because I don't remember much about the event. But now that you mention it, you are correct. You had to finish. Yeah, it was that. It was that one. So it was somewhere in my head, but it was dormant. Okay, so approaching the level 19 transition. Dan has 3 Tetrises available, currently at 548. And I'm not sure, at least a month ago, Dan was actually the #1 player in terms of median 19 transition scores, so this is definitely par for course for him. And Meme, bit of a suffer 18, especially the latter half of 18. Transitions with 464. And just like in games 4 and 5 against Cobra, although I guess this is going on YouTube, so maybe you don't remember this. But when she played Cobra all those months ago, all those weeks ago, she was behind in games 4 and 5 and really had to turn up the aggression and the efficiency to come back and take those games and get to the stage of the tournament. But yeah, Dan, meanwhile, has transitioned to level 19 at 672 on level 20. Meme with a few burns to do. Level 21, now level 22. So 1.5 levels ahead and is behind by 120,000 points. So it's kind of the thing here for Meme. She knows that she's going to have to up the aggression if she wants to, you know, don't want to leave it too late to try and make up this deficit. Don't want to have to rely on Dan to have any mistakes or lose a bunch of pace or top out early. But at the same time, does not want to top out early herself due to going too aggressive and not even give herself the chance to maybe catch up on 29. And Memes have had a very strong 19 campaign so far. Dan's not had a bad one. It's just been maybe a little bit less aggressive. Currently at 854 on level 24. So yeah, he's 100,000 points ahead, and he's behind by a full level. So definitely still the advantage here for Dan, but Meme putting a lot of pressure on this lead. Hasn't really been burning many lines. Has been very efficient the last few levels. Dan, I think, not able to get that lumbar all the way over. Now hoping for... Was hoping for an L piece, but it didn't show up, and oh, misses the 5-tap. So this might be the opportunity that Meme has been waiting for. Try and maybe steal this lead into 29, but there might be not enough time for that, as Dan has already gotten clean. It's basically the same score, but Dan still with that full level of lines in hand. So the lead has definitely shrunk as we've played these 19 speeds. But Dan looking good to still take this lead into the 29 portion of this game. So yeah, Meme going to transition to level 19 at A65. Dan still has 4 Tetrises available if he were to go perfect, but he's going to lose 1 Tetris there with that double. And Meme having to do a bit of burning here at the start of her 29 campaign. But she should be fine. Oh, Dan... so much division on his board. Now, this is a very complicated board going into 29, but oh, gets a Lombard to alleviate tons of pressure immediately. So Dan should be able to level out this board. Not really getting the best pieces, though. And Dan now in lots of danger. Gets the Lombard all the way over. Needs another Lombard. Gets the Lombard over. Dan now set up for this Tetris. Gets the Tetris, so Dan's going to survive. But Meme has cut down on this lead. It's basically even now. But Meme's still 1 full level ahead. But Meme in some trouble. Able to dig. Dan, meanwhile, has taken a Tetris and has taken the lead back. But Meme now, oh my god, in so much danger. And is going to top out at C06. So Dan's already good. And will be able to take game number 1. I just completely lost control of the words I was saying. But I'm not a native speaker, so forgive me. But yeah, that dig there for Dan ended up being crucial. I was very close in score at the end. But if Dan hadn't completed that dig, Meme would have already been good. But then Meme topped out. And Dan was able to just get those extra few points to get him over the line. So yeah, it's a 1-0 lead for the British player. Anyway, since the conversation earlier was about stupid things in the world, you know what's really stupid? When like British people, when a British person says 12:30, they mean 12:30, which makes no sense. Because if you say if you say 12:30, sure, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. 12:30. But if you say 12:30, then that implies 11:30, right? Like logically speaking. But for some reason British people say that, and I'm always confused when they say tell the time and I don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, anyways, game number 2 starting very soon. One second. Oh yeah, it is the same seat. Because it's the one time I didn't seat check. I was like, wait, do they have the right seats? But yeah, no, they do. Yeah. Yeah, if you say half 9, it means you're halfway to 9. So 8:30. That makes perfect sense. It's like what anybody would logically come up with, but I don't know. British people decided to do it the wrong way around. But anyways, enough about British people not being able to speak their own language. Into this game number 2. It's pretty even in terms of score, but Meme having some early troubles. Nothing that should worry her in terms of causing her demise, but it's just a bit of annoying burning here at the start. It's not really going to end. Yeah, the Stig just keeps on piling up. Yeah, this is allowing Dan to take the early advantage here in game number 2. But yeah, Meme should finally be clean. 111,000 for Meme. 169 for Danv. Yes, Sharky's not hosting this because unfortunately he had something come up. I'm really sorry, by the way. I just completely missed a lot of the Twitch notifications. So we had a raid from Yondis SDA, thank you so much, and a raid from Jerry Curl 667, thank you so much. Tetris reach a 7 stream watch. I don't know where that shows up. Hype train we had, cool, I guess. But yeah. Okay, so Meme's still playing on row 50 here, but able to get a Tetris. It's going to alleviate some pressure. Dan has a hole on his board, which is, yeah, it's going to cost him 2 singles here. But still in the lead. About a 2 Tetris lead here for Dan. There was one person who nobody remembers in the community because they've been gone since like 2020, but they used to call Danv Dan Wee, which I thought was really funny. It's even in terms of score right now, but Dan is behind 7 lines. Well, he's gonna have to spend 3 of them burning here. So it's about a 1 Tetris lead in terms of real-time score. No, it's not. What am I saying? Real-time score is what it actually is. But pace is what the thing is, you know. I also don't think I have a bracket winner scene here. So we're gonna have to improvise when it comes to that. Yeah, right now, Dan's actually been able to extend this lead. And Meme wasn't able to get the Z piece all the way over. The missed Z piece causing a couple troubles here for Meme. But she's going to be able to burn out of this from the top. Just a couple of singles in sequence. And she's going to be completely clean. But I think just due to playing very high for most of this 18, Meme is ahead in lines by 9. So similar to the last game. It's going to be Meme playing from the front, from the perspective of lines. But Dan still with the lead. So Dan in a great position, at least at the start of this game number 2. So Dan into 19 at 490, gets a triple here, and now has a choice to make whether he wants to start building on row 2 or whether he wants to maybe burn this down all the way, and he's gonna opt for the former. Set up now on row 2, gets the Tetris. Meme into level 21 with 531. Dan just hitting level 20. So even scores, but Dan with 10 lines in hand. The last game, Meme really had a huge deficit going into level 19, but was able to chop away at it as the levels progressed. And in the end, it was a very even game, and it just came down to Dan being able to outsurvive Meme on the 29 speeds, although right now, both players in a little bit of trouble. Meme would be completely fine if she just gets a Lombard, but it comes one piece too late. One piece, haha. And Dan had to do a bit of digging, but it's going to be fine. Still, with this row 2 setup, he's not really had any good opportunities to be efficient with burning this down all the way, and misses the rotation, I think. So, just going to be a little bit of more burning here for Dan. It's a bit of a suffer game here for both players, considering their skill level. As they're pretty much looking at 900s to just about max out into 29, depending how they play the second half of this post-transition. Okay, Dan gets the Tetris and finally has a good opportunity to burn this down all the way to the bottom with that single. So Dan gets another Tetris into level 26 at 809. Meme just hitting level 27 at 783. So it's a slight lead in terms of score for Dan. But once again, he is behind in lines. So Dan with the definite advantage, as both players are approaching the level 29 speeds. Simul Tetris there for the two players. Meme only has 2 more Tetrises available before 29 at 896. What did I just say? 864. I can't read numbers. My god. Gets a Tetris right there, but she's not going to be able to get the second one. She's just going to have to take this triple. So 908 transition for Meme into level 29. Dan's already 80,000 points ahead of that and still has 1 more Tetris available. Although he's also not going to be able to get the final Tetris, as he's almost certainly going to have to burn here. Yeah, Dan just going to burn into the 29 transition at 995. And Dan, a few board complications. Bar comes at a very opportune time here for Tim. But now needs an L or J, gets the L piece. And okay, Dan is now clean. Set up for the Tetris. It's even scores now for the two players. But once again, Dan is a full level behind. Obviously, that only really matters if the two players are both hitting level 39. So otherwise, this is a straight shootout now on the 29 speeds. Currently, Meme ahead by 1 Tetris. Dan trying to get that Tetris back. Trying to get set up, but not getting the right pieces to do so. Now needs something over to the left side. Gets Lombard over. Doesn't get the next Lombard over, though. It gets the J piece over, though. Now, Dan actually set up for not a 30 Tetris. That was a triple, but almost out of this mini dig. But this has really allowed Meme to build up a lead. She's at C33, and Dan's at A93. And Dan's right side very high. Really in need of a Lombard. Gets the Lombard for the Tetris, but now needs to do more burning. And Meme is now running away with the score. Almost certainly has the lead in terms of pace, despite being ahead in lines. So Dan's just going to have to try and get Tetris ready as soon as possible and hope for the best. Meme at D44 with 2 more Tetrises available. Dan at B70. And yeah, Dan's just going full throttle, trying to set up. But the Lombard doesn't come in time, and Dan's going to top out at B70. And Meme at E49 at 39 is going to be able to level up the set So in the end, Meme able to overcome the deficit on the 29 speeds. Yeah, Dan in the chat saying 1 Tetris on 29, I think. Certainly felt that way. He was doing some good stuff, always digging out of these tough situations, hitting some nice rolls, but it's just one of those games where it just felt like he was just on the wrong side of the RNG every time, where he just couldn't get ready for extended periods. But yeah. Meme able to level up the set. And what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. Yeah, Dan with the real Brexit type of 29 play. Park the bus. And trying to do his best Lego head Arteta impression. But I don't know. I mean, I was literally watching the Carabao Cup final today with him, and we saw Arsenal get absolutely spanked, which I didn't expect. But I still think they'll win the league pretty comfortably. Yeah, since we're between games, if somebody watches football, I had a hot take. And I think I'm cooking with this one. I said current Arsenal is already better than the Invincibles. Which is less a compliment on today's Arsenal and more just me saying that the Invincibles are kind of overrated. In fact, they're very overrated. But anyways, game number 2. Game number 3. Starting in soon. I mean, as I say, it's more to do with the fact that the Invincibles, I mean, look, Arsenal didn't win the EFL Cup today. But I mean, the Invincibles didn't win anything other than the league. So, I don't know. Like, even though I'm the world's biggest Arsenal hater, I actually don't think that that's a knock against them. The fact that they score from corners. Because it's like, it's all well and good, like, making fun of it, but there's still goals that count. And other teams shouldn't be making fun of it. They should be trying to find their own ways of being so successful from set pieces. Like, until somebody wants to try and decide, like, you know, maybe be more strict on players crowding the keeper on corners or whatever. As the game is officiated the way it is currently, if you're not trying to play like Arsenal, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot. What do I think of Tottenham? I can't say. Tottenham, a team with more European history than Arsenal. So, you know. Your son's a Man United fan? God, that's... my condolences. Oh yeah, United have been terrible for like... It's been great. It's honestly been the nicest thing about growing up, just seeing United fall. Absolutely failure after failure every single year. It's one of the sweetest things in life. Dan is in trouble. JP's comes at a very good time. Decides to put a lot of weight on the hole. And it gets another long bar. But yeah, Meme, bit of a momentum shifter maybe in the last game, is now in the lead on 18 for the first time in the set, really. Currently at 348. And Dan, his turn to have a bit of a suffer game on the 18 speeds. 214 after 17 lines. Retro Cabeza, my guy. Thank you for the raid. And also Adam Irish with the raid before. Sorry I missed that. Thank you so much. So Dan has been able to stem the bleeding mostly. Not in any prolonged digs anymore, but now he just has the tough task of trying to cut into this lead of Meme. And in the previous games, it's been roles reversed, where Meme was trying to cut into the lead that Dan was able to build up. So let's see how Dan approaches this. Is he gonna tune up the aggression, or is he just gonna try and be pragmatic and mostly just stay alive and hope for a mistake from Meme? Right now, it's a 100,000 point lead for Meme at the same line count. Meme has gotten up high. Okay, and decided to gamble a little bit. Let her board fall apart just a little bit just so she could keep the well open. And it paid off her as the Lombard comes just in time. Alleviated lots of pressure, and now into the 19 transition at 595. Dan was able to cut into this lead just a little bit. Currently at 543. And has a clean board as Meme. Okay, it's going to be clean. Look like what might be a bit of a dig, but it's going to be fine for Meme. Both players, oh my god, both players into a dig. Oh, no, Dan's going to top out at 594. Just missed the Lombard to the right. And Meme looks like she was going to be able to dig out of it anyways. Meme's going to be able to take game number 3. Now 2 games ahead. What am I saying? 2 games to 1 ahead. And it's 2 match points to book her spot into the semifinals, where she would be facing... I don't know. I don't actually know. The winner of this faces the winner of Neko versus... And Neko plays the winner of Sidnev and Andy. So I think for all 5 players on this side of the bracket, they're seeing this as a bit of an opportunity to get a run to the finals, being able to avoid Dog and Scooty until a potential finals matchup. So this is a big game. I think both of these players definitely fancy their chances more against the winner of the other side, Neko, Sidnev, or Andy, than they probably would against Scooty. or dog. Hello to you, Tetris Time. What did you miss? Me beat Cobra in a very close set. The ending of that was absolutely insane. And as you can see, Meme currently with the 2-1 lead over the famous Danv. So game number 4 could be the last game of this set, starting very soon. And it started now. And let's see, the players doing the same opener. At least so far. No, now they're different. But they're both able to get the first Tetris with the same long bar. Just 1 second. Alright, so in this crucial game, number 4, Meme yet to burn a line. Dan has only burned 5 lines, so efficient start for him, but he's finding himself behind. And just as I say that, Meme having to take a single with that S-spin. Dan, a bit of a suffer sequence, just not getting the J piece when he needed it. Okay, able to burn out of it probably, although that... Still not the most healthy board, but a T-piece is going to go a long way with making this board a lot more accommodating, and Dan's going to be fine. But yeah, at the same line count, it's a 2 Tetris lead here for Meme. But may have just lost control of the roll there for just a second. But actually gets absolutely perfect pieces. Look, sometimes the commentator says perfect pieces when it actually wasn't perfect pieces. It was just well played, but that was just perfect pieces for me. But now is hoping for a J piece, and the J doesn't come, so it's going to be a bit of a maybe extended burning here for me. Dan seems to have misdropped an L piece. And decides to put the long bar on the right, take the few extra burns to not risk making this board even more complicated. Although he might be looking for a second J piece to get Tetris ready for a one and done on column 8, but now he's built up a long bar dependency on the left side. Now Dan, let's see what he decides to do. Yeah, he's gonna just go for this left wall Tetris. And if he was to get the long bar now, it would be a perfect wall transfer, and yes, it is. So perfect wall transfer there for Dan, being a bit opportunistic with the RNG. So almost the same line count. It's actually just the 1 Tetris lead for Meme. So Meme definitely in a great position in the set, but Dan not out of this yet. You won every game without me. Oh, no. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's really something I needed to know. Currently Dan at 442, Meme at 464. And actually, considering the slight desync in lines, it's a basically even game at the moment. Alright, good night, Sidnov. Oh yeah, I can imagine. They were doing some crazy stuff with the in that one game I played with you. Alright. Enough of that. Dan at 609 is actually taking the lead here in the early levels of the 19 transition. Needs this game to stay alive. I almost just said Sidney. Meme at 646. Who's this imposter? I am... It's me, Kingsman. The king of rationing, 669. Yada yada yada. Dan in a bit of trouble here. Not a great Z piece. Needs something for the left side. Doesn't get the lumbar over. That's almost certainly going to be curtains here for Dan. Dan's going to top out at 672. Maybe some controller issues. Just missed a couple of very inopportune rolls there in the last two games. And Meme is going to be able to move on to the top 4 of this month's CTM Masters. Yeah, congratulations to Meme. I don't have a bracket winner scene, but we can make one right now. Hello. Okay, so this is Meme. And she's a stole image because she's already gone offline. But we are going to... And... There you go. There's your bracket winner. Meme moving on to the top 4. Screenshot this, send it to the newspapers. Meme is going to the top 4, where she will be facing the winner of... yeah, so on the other side, Neko is going to play the winner of Andy and Sidnev. And then the winner of that match, of those 3, is going to be facing Meme in the semifinals of this month's Masters event. Now, when that's going to happen, we don't know. But look out for that when that does happen. Okay. I think I'm done. You don't have to hear me anymore. What to do? I think we have to raid somebody. Is that a thing we have to do? I think so. Alright, let's see. Is anybody streaming Tetris? Yes, we're gonna raid my boy. Yeah, ha ha ha. We're gonna raid one of the greatest guys in human history, my guy GeoWolf, who I can see is streaming. GeoWolf77. So everybody has to say hi to GeoWolf. And if not, I'm going to be very upset with you. But yeah, thank you for watching this monthly Tetris stream. I thank you for your for your viewership and your friendship and your warmth. And yeah, probably see you never. But anyways, goodbye.